Hey there, welcome back to our channel Wisdom and Wellness. We usually talk about the latest tech gadgets or delicious recipes, but tonight we're taking a little detour. A detour into the minds of your grandkids. Scary, right? I mean, these are the tiny humans who can operate an iPad before they can tie their shoes, and they're judging us. Silently sometimes, loudly other times, usually when they want more ice cream. Today, we're diving into something a bit different but super important. We're talking about those little things, those habits we, as the more experienced generation, might have picked up. Habits that, let's be honest, might be making our grandkids roll their eyes so hard they see their own brains. And trust me, you don't want them seeing their own brains. It's not pretty. We've all got our quirks, right? I know I do. My kids are constantly pointing them out. It's like having a tiny, brutally honest focus group living in your house. Ever wondered what your grandkids really think about some of your habits? Well, it's time to find out. We've done some, let's call it light espionage. Okay, maybe just some careful observation and a few hushed conversations with parents to bring you the inside scoop. So, grab a Werther's Original, settle in, and let's find out if you're accidentally becoming the villain in their TikTok dances. Don't worry, this is a safe space. Mostly. Alright, first up on the docket, and this one's a biggie in the 21st century, overusing social media. Now I get it. Facebook, Instagram, whatever the kids are using these days, it's a way to connect, to see what your cousin Brenda's cat is up to. It's a miracle of modern technology. You can see pictures of your niece's vacation to a place you can't pronounce, all without leaving your lazy boy. Fantastic. But here's the thing, your grandkids? They're kind of analog creatures when they're with you. They've got their own screens, sure, probably more advanced than yours. But when they're hanging out with grandma or grandpa, they're looking for some good old-fashioned, actual FaceTime. Not FaceTime where you're accidentally showing them your chin for 10 minutes. Imagine this. Little Timmy or Susie comes over all excited to show you the macaroni art they made. A true masterpiece, a future MoMA contender. And you're there, phone 2 inches from your face, scrolling through pictures of someone's dinner. "Oh, that's nice, dear," you say, without looking up. Ouch! That macaroni art just died a little inside. And so did Timmy. Your grandkids might find it a bit odd, maybe even a little, dare I say, rude, when you're constantly glued to your phone or computer. It's like you're at a party, but you're only talking to one person in the corner who isn't even there. They're thinking, "Hello? I'm right here. I have a story about a squirrel." And squirrel stories, let me tell you, are often way more interesting than Aunt Carol's political rants. They want to spend quality time with you, not compete with your screen for attention. It's like you've brought a rival to the playdate, and the rival is a glowing rectangle full of cat videos and Candy Crush. And that rival is winning. They didn't come over to watch you like photos of people they don't know, or to hear the little ding of a new notification every 30 seconds. Think about it from their perspective. They have a limited amount of time with you. These are the golden years, for them and for you. They want to build memories, tell you their secrets, maybe even teach you a thing or two like how to floss. The dance, not the dental hygiene, though that's important too. If you're constantly checking updates, sharing articles about the good old days, we'll get to that one later, don't you worry. Or taking a quiz to find out which type of potato you are. I'm a russet, by the way, very versatile. You're sending a message. And that message is, this glowing brick is currently more fascinating than you, my beloved grandchild. It's not that they don't want you to be connected. They probably taught you how to use half the apps on your phone. But there's a time and a place. And all the time everywhere, isn't it? They crave your undivided attention, your stories, the ones not just copied and pasted from a questionable website. Your laughter. Alright, moving on to our second habit. This one's a classic, a real golden oldie, if you will. And that's talking about the good old days a little too much. Or, a lot too much. Like every single conversation somehow circles back to how things were better before the internet or before sliced bread. Now don't get me wrong. Sharing memories is wonderful. It's how we pass down family history, traditions, and embarrassing stories about their parents. That stuff is gold. Little Johnny needs to know his dad once tried to dye his hair blonde with lemon juice and ended up looking like a startled scarecrow. That's important information. But there's a fine line, my friends. A very fine line between a charming anecdote and a constant barrage of, well, back in my day we didn't have, insert literally anything the grandchild is currently enjoying. It can start to sound less like sharing and more like a lecture. Or a complaint. Constantly reminiscing, especially if it always comes with a side of things we're so much better than, can make your grandkids feel like you don't appreciate the present, their present, the world they're living in and trying to navigate. It's like you're saying their experiences, their music, their weird TikTok dances are somehow less valid because they didn't happen in 195 click-clack. That was a noise, not a year. Imagine you're a kid, excited about the new video game you just got, or a song by an artist with a name that sounds like a Wi-Fi password. You try to share it with your grandparent, and the response is, "Oh, that's interesting." You know, back in my day, music had melody. We had real instruments, not just computers making beeping noises. Suddenly your excitement deflates like a week-old birthday balloon. It's not that they don't respect your history. They probably find some of it fascinating. Dinosaurs, the invention of the wheel, the time before Wi-Fi, it's all ancient history to them and kinda cool. But they also want you to be interested in their world right now. Not just the black and white sepia-toned world of your youth. Think of it this way. If every time they talked about their favorite superhero you countered with, well, the original Superman could only leap tall buildings, not fly through space-eating planets, they might just stop talking about superheroes with you. They want to connect with you in their time, not just be a passive audience for a history lesson they didn't sign up for. And sometimes, let's be honest, those good old days stories can get a little repetitive. If they've heard the one about the Great Molasses Flood of '78 for the 17th time, they might start to tune out. They know the punchline. They know how many gallons of molasses it was. They're mouthing the words along with you. Chapter 3. The Fashion Police and Everything Else Squad. Alright, let's move on to habit number 3, and this one can be a real minefield. We're talking about being too critical. You know, when your well-meaning comments start to sound less like helpful advice and more like a running commentary from the judges on America's got issues with everything their grandkid does. Whether it's about their fashion choices, those ripped jeans that cost more than your first car, the hair color that resembles a highlighter, the shoes that look like they were designed by aliens, or their hobbies, like spending hours building virtual worlds in Minecraft instead of, real forts. Or maybe it's their friends, who you're convinced are a bad influence because one of them wears eyeliner. Now, as grandparents, it's natural to want the best for your grandkids. You've seen a thing or two. You have wisdom, you just want to guide them, protect them, make sure they don't make the same mistakes you or their parents made. It comes from a place of love, we get it, we really do. But here's the rub: constant criticism, even if it's disguised as constructive feedback, can feel like a personal attack to a young person, especially a teenager. Their sense of self is often tied up in these choices, their clothes, their music, their friends. It's how they're exploring their identity, figuring out who they are. When you say, "Are you really going out looking like?" Or "Why do you waste so much time on that silly game?" Or "I don't like the look of that friend of yours," what they hear is, "I don't like," or "I don't approve of who you're becoming." And that can create a huge gap, a real chasm between you. They want your support and understanding, not a constant critique of their life choices. Think about it. How would you feel if someone followed you around all day pointing out everything they thought you were doing wrong? Are you sure you want to eat? You know, that show you're watching is rotting your brain. Your garden gnomes are a bit tacky, don't you think? It would get old fast, right? Your grandkids are navigating a world that's vastly different from the one you grew up in. The pressures are different, the trends are different, the ways they communicate are different. What might seem frivolous or strange to you could be incredibly important to them, a key part of their social life or self-expression. Instead of leading with criticism, try leading with curiosity. "Wow, those are interesting jeans. What's the story behind them?" Or, "That game looks complicated. Can you show me how it works?" Or, "Tell me about your friend Sarah. What do you like about her?" You might be surprised by their answers, and you'll definitely open a door for conversation instead of slamming it shut. Chapter 4. What's a TikTok? Is that a new kind of clock? And finally, our fourth habit that might be secretly, or not so secretly, getting a side-eye from the grandkids, not keeping up with technology, or let's be frank, sometimes actively resisting it like it's going to steal your social security number, which, okay, sometimes it does, but that's a different video. Your grandkids are growing up in a digital world. They were practically born with a smartphone in one hand and a tablet in the other. They speak fluent emoji, they understand memes that look like hieroglyphics to us, and they can navigate the internet faster than you can find your reading glasses. This is their native language, their environment. Now, nobody expects you to become a coding expert overnight or to start a viral dance challenge, Though hey, if you do, send us the link. But completely disengaging from the technology that shapes so much of their lives can make you seem, well, a bit out of touch. Like you're still waiting for the Pony Express to deliver messages. They might judge you, not harshly perhaps, but they might find it a little frustrating or even a bit sad if you're not making an effort to understand their world. It's like they're trying to share a huge part of their life with you, and you're just shrugging and saying, sorry, I don't speak computer. Imagine them trying to show you a funny video on their phone, and you spend 5 minutes trying to figure out how to unmute it, accidentally take 3 selfies, and then somehow call their 3rd grade teacher. It's funny, sure, but after the 10th time it can feel like you're not even trying. Learning a bit about their world, even just the basics, can go a long way. It shows you're interested. It shows you care about what they care about. It gives you a new way to connect with them. Maybe you learn how to send a text message that isn't all in capital letters, or you figure out how to video call without just showing them your ceiling fan. Think about the missed opportunities. They might want to share a game they love, a show they're watching on a streaming service you've never heard of, or a project they did for school using software that sounds like a sci-fi villain. If you're completely tech-averse, those doors to connection remain closed. It's not about becoming a tech wizard, it's about showing willingness. Ask them to teach you. Kids to teach adults things they're good at. It empowers them. Hey, can you show me how this TikTok thing works? What's all the fuss about? You might even find some of it interesting, or at least you'll understand their references better. And let's be practical here. Bridging the gap without a backache. So there you have it. 4 habits that, let's be honest, might be causing a little bit of a rift, a tiny crack in the otherwise perfect relationship you have with your grandkids. From being a social media zombie to accidentally becoming the everything was better in my day police or the chief critic of all things youthful, or even just a friendly Luddite who thinks streaming involves a fishing rod. We've covered some ground. And look, nobody's perfect. I'm sure my kids could write a whole encyclopedia series on my annoying habits. But the good news is, it's never too late to make a change and strengthen those precious relationships. It's not about completely overhauling your personality. They love you for who you are, quirks and all. It's just about being a little more mindful, a little more present, and maybe a little more willing to meet them where they are, even if where they are involves some really weird music and questionable fashion choices. These small adjustments can make a world of difference in how they see you and how connected they feel to you. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful videos. Let us know in the comments if any of these hit close to home, or if your grandkids have any secret judgments you've uncovered. We're all in this together, trying to be the best, coolest, most understanding grandparents on the block, or at least the ones who know how to mute their phones during story time. See you next time!